Good evening. The board has now returned from closed session and will begin the regular session of Keys Union School District Board of Trustees meeting. 4.1, report out closed session items. We have a couple things to report out. 4.1, the Board of Trustees voted to reject the claim of CSCA. We have a motion for that.
I motion.
We have a first. Do we have a second?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. And we also, in closed session, granted both leave of absences that were on our agenda. Moving on to 4.2, approval amendment of agenda. We have several. Item 3.4 is additional leave of absence that we approved. And then action items will be 11.7, KTL Charter Educator Effectiveness Grant. 11.7, so we can make notes of that right now. Is there anything else on the agenda? Do we have a motion to approve?
No other items, no.
I'll motion.
Do I have a first? Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, thank you. My notes are done. Moving on to the flag salute. Come on, girls. See you again.
Please stand for the pledge. Ready? Begin.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 6. We'll ask Mr. Brazil to take over.
Yeah, I forget that this is the one meeting I have to do yuck. All right, so this is what we call the organizational meeting. And so at this meeting, the board chooses its officers for the coming school year. And the first election of officers will be for the board president. Is there a nomination for board president?
I'll make that nomination.
And your choice?
Jeff Reed.
Right, we have a nomination of Jeff Green. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
You have a second? We'll have a motion and a second. We'll take roll call. Mr. Greener?
Aye.
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 Very good.
Thank you.
Gentlemen. The next is the board vice president.
I take over here now.
You can go.
Moving on to board vice president. Do we have a motion?
I'll motion Wes Green.
He's been vice president several years, but he's never had to do his job yet.
I second.
We'll do all the work for us.
We have a first. We have a second.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to board clerk. That's signs a lot of paperwork, readily available to the DO. Do we have a motion?
I motion Mike Bernal.
We have a motion for Mike Burnell. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Board trustee representative. This is the one that always confusing. I really don't know their role.
Well, the role of that member that gets appointed to that is to actually serve as a representative on the Stanislaus County School Boards Association. And so they are a representative that if they conduct business twice a year, obviously more often if needed, but as a result of COVID, they usually hold a function, and it's a little bit of a staff development and a public meeting and dinner usually, and they were unable to do so the last year. So, but that's what that person does, is it represents the district at the county level.
Have we ever done those? I mean, we go to the dinners, but does our representative ever do anything?
Not.
Yeah,
Well, it'd be if they requested a rep.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
probably.
Yeah. No, and they have to have.
And then we wouldn't have to scramble thinking, who?
Exactly.
Jeff, is that something you want to do?
What's that?
Is that something you want to do?
Yeah, I guess.
I'll nominate Jeff Greener.
I second it.
First, I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. I didn't want to nominate you until you knew what you were doing.
I think I got nominated last time, too.
I think so. Moving on to 6.2, everybody's board members shall assume their new positions. Moving on to 6.3, approval of calendar of dates, time, and places of regular meetings and signatures of board members of authorized agents. This is something we do every year. We've changed our calendar as needed this year, so I say we approve the calendar, but see be open to suggested moves. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll motion.
We have a motion, we have first, do we have a second?
Can I look at the calendar first?
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Brazil's looking at KTL first graders,
These are, they're,
made little pictures.
they're thank yous to the board for their playground, and they're very, very cute. They're done a great job. These are really
You looking good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Do you want a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to invitation to address the Board of Trustees. Do we have any? All right. Next announcements, 8.1, Keys Elementary School Site Council meeting will be December 7th. Spratling Middle School 6th, 7th, and 8th grade basketball tournament will be December 7th through 9th. Tomorrow, they both have byes, so both teams won't be playing, and we know that Wednesday, they'll be playing at 4:45 and 6, I believe. Correct, girls? Thank you. Moving to 8.3, Spratling Middle School Spelling Bee Competition, December 8th. 8.4, Spratling Middle School Spirit Week will be December 13th through the 17th. 8.5, Keys Elementary School Wacky Wardrobe Day, student and staff, will be December 15th. I want to see the staff dress up just as good as those kids do. Moving to 8.6, Keys Elementary School Door Decorating Contest, and also minimum day that day, December 17th, 2021. Moving on to items 9. 9.1 is staff reports. Do we have any questions or concerns? Okay, going to 9.2, student report. Girls, Roxanne, Jocelyn? I'm gonna be looking at these pictures while you're talking, but I'm listening, I promise.
They're really cute.
Hello, we are student representatives for Spratling Middle School. I am Jocelyn Jimenez, and I am the president of Student Council. I'm Roxana Rosca, the vice president of Student Council. The first topic we will talk about is basketball. Both girls' basketball teams are undefeated, 8 wins with 0 losses. The girls' basketball tournaments are December 7th, 8th, and 9th. Boys' basketball tryouts will start December 13th. We have our November art contest winners. The winners are first place, Samrit Jahan, second place, Yuritsit Lali Mendoza, and third place, Clarissa Barrera. December's art contest theme is holiday art. We recently had a pajama day, December 1st, and it was a big success. We will have a holiday themed spirit week, December 13th through the 17th. We are currently planning the winter formal, which is going to be on January 21st. We are going to pre-sale tickets. We had a mindfulness assembly on November 30th. It was very interesting and educated us in many ways. For example, it showed us methods to relieve stress and anxiety. We had movie night on December 3rd. Some kids showed up and enjoyed the movie. Many students are looking forward to winter break that is December 20th to January 3rd. We have Christmas cards to give to all of you, and that is all we have for tonight. Thank you for listening. Have a good night.
Thank you, girls.
I think the next time you have a pajama day, you need to tell the district office so we can wear our pajamas.
Don't you guys wear pajamas all the time?
Thank you, ladies. You both did a very nice job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, girls, have a good night. Make sure your homework's done.
That was very nice. Thank you, ladies.
All right, moving on to 9.3, recognition. Mr. Brazil?
I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate Miss Stacy Knight on her 32 years of service. I met with her prior to her last day and presented her with a little momentum of our appreciation for the years of service and for the students and families that she's touched. And I think she absolutely appreciated it and was thankful, and so we wish her all the best as she moves on to whatever she is choosing to do next.
All right. I also sent her an email and some text messages, and you know, she was one of the teachers that really pushed me to come in and sit in the art classes because she was pushing for the art teacher to stay on campus. So She said, if you have fun in art class, you'll vote for it. And she tolerated me acting like a fifth grader in her class all the time, so I appreciate it. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Moving on, consent agenda action item, or consent agenda items. Actions prepared for a consent calendar are consistent with adopted and approved policies of the district and are deemed routine in nature. They will be acted upon in one motion without discussion unless members of the board request that an item be removed from the consent calendar. In that event, it will be taken up in the order indicated on the main agenda. Items 10.1 through 10.4, any questions or concerns? Do we have a motion to approve?
A motion.
We have a first, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to 11. Action items 11.1, approval of certificated classified confidential management personnel action items. So we need to approve 11.1, which is actually nothing because we didn't hire. And then we need to approve 11.1.2. Correct, Dana?
Yes.
All right, so can we approve 11.1.1? Can I have a motion to approve the employee list?
I'll motion.
I have a first, do I have a second?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, moving on to 11.1.2, Mr. Brazil.
So I'm asking the board to approve the appointment or designee as to cover for my duties as I take some time off during the holidays, which may or may not happen, but that's what I'm asking the board to do, is to have a designee in my absence if I do get to leave the country, that we'll have someone who will be responsible for the duties and should any emergencies come up.
All right. Any questions or concerns? Do I have a motion to approve?
And
I'll
I
make
did
it.
ask her, and she agreed.
It's not a surprise to you, is it? I'll motion.
I have a first, second,
I second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to 11.2, presentation and approval of first interim report. It's a tag team.
Good evening. I will be presenting first interim on behalf of Stephanie Morris. We'll begin by pulling out your packets and turning to page 2.
First one there.
Yes.
First one there.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to give you a hard time, Raul. It's your first one.
So we're going to begin with the reminder that we are still under hold harmless provisions for ADA funding in the current year and face a fiscal cliff next year if enrollment does not improve. Actual enrollment for the current year is 721, which is down 38 from prior year. For first interim projections, we have reduced enrollment by an additional 10 students as a precaution due to extreme volatility in enrollment and attendance caused by the pandemic. If we go ahead and turn the page, at the bottom left, you'll see a graph that represents the cliff for 21-22. Go ahead and turn the page one more time, and you'll see a side-by-side revenue pie chart, which shows the large influx of restricted federal revenue in green since budget adoption. Go ahead and turn the page. On this, this page shows the major differences since budget adoption. Revenues have increased 5.6 million and expenditures by 3.5 million, and our fund balance is projected to increase 1.1 million. If you turn the page, this page shows the change in LCFF funding over prior year. You may recall that we received an additional $387,593 or $1,000 in concentration grant funding, which, or with the restriction that the increased funding may only be used to increase the number of certificated and classified staff who provide direct services to pupils. If we turn the page, we'll move on to page 8. This page details our ending balance and reserves. We have a beginning balance of $5,487,888 or 887, an ending balance of $5,088,972. In red, you'll see our assignments of fund balance, and then our unassigned balance of $1,893,769, which leaves us with a total reserve of 20.8%. On our next page, you'll see our historical and projected fund balance. The declining fund balance is based on the assumption that enrollment does not recover in the out years. Go ahead and turn the page. For a multi-year projection, you'll notice that our projected revenues and expenditures decrease by more than $5 million, but we are projected to deficit spend by more than $1 million in both of the out years. This signals a need to cut costs beginning next year. Okay, we'll move on to the charter school. For first interim, we reduced actual enrollment by 5 students as a precaution due to COVID volatility. You'll notice an increase in revenue by $193,681,000, and there's a corresponding increase in expenditures in the amount of $171,673, including their loan payment and salary increase. They are projected to deficit spend $129,324. However, they have a very healthy reserve and can sustain deficit spending for many years. Moving on, the charter school is projected to have a healthy fund balance and includes cost of 3% salary increase, and it assumed that enrollment does not recover to pre-COVID numbers. Moving on to the next page, actual enrollment is down 9 students from prior year, but we are assuming an additional 5 students for a total of 14 and no increase in the out years. That's to be very conservative. And finally, our multi-year projection includes ongoing cost of 3% increase, and except for their loan payment, are projected to not deficit spend in the 2 out years. And that is our first interim presentation.
Come on, Wes, you got to ask a question.
Right. I was trying to keep up.
Stephanie doesn't go through all the pages like you do. She only does like 2.
I'll keep note for next time. Thank you.
No, Raul, thank you, and Stephanie, both of you for working on this. I know that this is a time in education that, especially Raul, as you're coming into the finance world of this, we have never seen so much money and in so many pies with so many restrictions and so many plans that we have to adhere to. So I know that the managing of all of these accounts are a nightmare, and I appreciate the fact that I know that both of you work very hard to do so, and Raul, you are doing a very fine job of taking this on. I truly appreciate the fact that you have a grasp of where we are, and you've been dumped into it, and it's hit us hard, all of us, because we truly thought we would no longer have categoricals, and really they're back.
Right.
So,
Well, thank you. I have an amazing teacher to learn from.
Yeah, without putting you on the spot, how are you doing? Not you.
Oh, me? I'm doing
It's
good.
your show, not her show.
No, I'm currently in the AXA School Business Academy, where I'm learning a lot more on this. It really helps cement what Stephanie has been teaching me.
She's telling you what to say.
I
Stephanie, do you want to talk for us?
I spend usually 4 hours on Fridays and 6 hours on Saturdays.
Wes, that's like 10 hours.
Right.
And that's on top of my regular shift.
We're not even CBOs, and we know that.
and he does not put in just 8 hours.
His car is always there.
Yes.
Close to Cindy's, but always there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know it is. All right, I need a motion to approve or deny.
I'll motion.
Oh, we should deny Raul's first one, shouldn't we?
No.
The county would love that one. I have a first, I have a second.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 What would happen? The county would make us do another meeting, right?
Yes, they would.
Yeah. Just approve it. Moving on to 11.3, approval of Keys to Learning Charter School 2021-22 school year. 3% salary schedule. And what we always do is we look at our CBOs. Nods? All right. You saw the nods from them? Any questions or concerns?
No, and I just want to share that they are financially able to do so, and that I think Ms. McGinnis has really taken charge of this, and it's a learning just about every day, as most of us are as well, but I appreciate the fact that her leadership is going to remain strong and that the charter is flourishing.
And as a board member, I appreciate it coming on one of these days, so we have all the numbers in front of us. It really does help, because we know it's been calculated. Any other questions or concerns? Motion to approve?
I'll motion.
We have first,
I second.
second?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Good thing you said aye, Jeff, because I totally blanked on what to say. Moving on to 11.4, approval of 2021 Educator Effectiveness Grant. This is for the Keys and SMS?
No, it's for Keys School District and the charter district, or the charter school as well.
We had to add 11.7. So this is for Keys, correct. So 11.4 is for Keys site only.
Oh, and the 11.7 is for the charter, sorry.
That's why,
I didn't read my own writing either, so.
any questions or concerns?
These are all funds that the state is giving out for us to be able to use to provide staff development and professional support to educators, so teachers and administrators. It requires a plan, and it required a public hearing, which you've all observed last month, or we held last month. Everything that we've looked on to support is pushed out a year, just because there's so much going on right now that the plan is really for about 5 years. We're allowed to expend those funds, so we're kind of delaying the start until 2022-23 school year.
All right. Any questions? We motion to approve?
I'll motion.
First, I have second.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Moving on to 11.5, approval of ACES and CSEA salary schedule increase to reflect the California minimum wage increase effective January 1st, 2022.
This is truly to bring us into the minimum wage arena, and so we're asking that the board approve those changes or those modifications to both the ACES and CSEA salary schedules.
Money people? Yes, all right. We have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
We have a first, we have a second?
I'll
I
second.
second.
Jeff got him. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Moving on to 11.6, approval of CSEA MOU extensions, and we're just constantly doing this as things change?
We've agreed with CSEA, we take it a month at a time, so each month we meet again, evaluate what's going on in terms of safety and precautions related to COVID, and we have been very fortunate that CSEA is very cooperative and do an amazing job, and so I'd like the board to approve that MOU.
Is this something we want to start doing every 3 months, or things are constantly changing so much?
We've agreed as a negotiating body with CSEA that we'll do it month by month,
Okay,
is what
perfect.
they've requested. And I'm
It
perfectly.
doesn't hurt to do it, man.
I was just asking, his answer was better, his answer was better than my question. We agreed to do something, we got to keep doing it. We have a motion to approve or
I'll
deny?
make that motion.
Motion to approve?
Yeah, approve it.
We have first, we have second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Moving on to the updated 11.7 KTL Charter Educator Effectiveness Grant.
And this is the same thing as, it's that those funds are also to train staff and administrators for the charter school.
We have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion to approve.
We have first, second?
I'll
I
second.
second.
Same, Jeff? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Moving on to 12.1 LCAP update.
You'll be getting an LCAP update in terms of a presentation. It will include the additional funds that we've received from federal funding, in addition to what we had when we developed the LCAP back in June, or you approved it in June. So at the February board meeting, you won't have to approve anything, but you, as the superintendent, I'm having to report to you kind of where we are and what areas have we increased the spending in, or what areas. Some, for example, I will be sharing that we have not acted upon because we can't adequately staff programs and things that we've wanted to do. So that will be updated all at the February meeting.
All right, thank you. Moving on to 12.2 SMS Track Committee meeting update.
So we have not met. What we have done, however, is contracted the services of why can't I think of the word?
Landscape planner?
A landscape architect, yes, landscaping architect, who is going to, she came out, met with a group of us, and went over took a look at the field, is going to create some plans and things to then share with us as to how we could best use that facility and still continue to make progress towards someday having a track. So as soon as those things or her plans are sent to us, and we will then meet as a committee again and kind of look at them and decide what future steps are to be taken. We are still operating and including her contract within the originally allotted amount that the board approved to work on this project.
And how's Jimmy on all this?
Jimmy wants the track built tomorrow or yesterday, but he's excited, and as well as all of us are, to kind of see how can we best improve that field and do what we can so that kids can use it as a field. So.
All right, thank you. Moving on, 12.3, library lease between Stanislaus County and Keys Union School District.
So the lease, they have submitted a proposal to the district. We are requesting to meet with them to look at that proposal and to discuss it further. I know that during the holidays, I've sought to have a date chosen. They have not as yet. I'm thinking that the holidays are all coming, so it probably will not be until the new year. But there is progress that we have communication and will continue to do so.
And we still have a lease for June or July, so that we still have some time to get something moving. All right, moving on to superintendent report, Mr. Brazil.
I'll be quick. I want to congratulate the girls' 7th and 8th grade basketball for their undefeated season, and I wish them well at the tournament this coming week. Our quarantine numbers have declined, and I'm glad to say that, but I hope that they remain that way. I appreciate the efforts of all who work at dealing with all of that, which obviously are classroom teachers, instructional aides, and administration. It's tough to have kids coming and going. We're still looking for an art and music teacher. Pool of teachers continues to be not substantial so that we can move forward, but we hope that that may happen, and we would love to do so even if it's half a year. But LCAP, I've already shared with you that it will be bringing a report in February. It's kind of a mid-year report, and I'll deliver it at the February board meeting. Track, as I shared already, we have the architect, and we'll continue to work on that. And I wish to, at this meeting, to thank students, parents for their annual Christmas basket drive donations. Mel is once again doing a great job of organizing this, and it's certainly a Keys tradition. And she will start on the 8th officially with some time allocated to her schedule to be able to work on those for delivery on the 17th. And I want to thank everyone in our district for their ongoing support, and I wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous and safe New Year.
All right, thank you. Moving on to board member comments. Mr. Emmons is not here tonight. Mr. Green?
Well, you know, I think my focus tonight is on the amount of money that's coming in, and this was probably going to be directed to Raul, in that the question I have is, do you believe this is a great time to start this new endeavor, or is it going to be a really challenging time?
Oh, that's a good answer.
Wow.
Stephanie, did you teach them that?
All right.
That school's paying off already. They taught you that on first day. This is what you guys say, okay?
No, you know, there just seems to be so much that I can't even grasp the amount of money coming and going and the different allocations for it. As you were talking, I was thinking, wow, you know, this is either going to be really tough to take on this, or is it just a really good time? And so you answered my question. Thank you. And that's all. Other than that, you know, Merry Christmas, everybody. I love everybody. You know that. And I look forward to our next meeting, obviously. But I wonder why tonight was Monday.
We'll explain that.
Okay, good.
Moving on with Mr. Burnell.
Yeah, I just want to thank staff and faculty for your hard work, and wish you guys a Merry Christmas. And it was a tough year this year, but it's going to be better now. It's the good times now, but later, when the bad time comes, I hate to be in your shoes. But you're the man for the job, though.
All right, thank you. Mr. Greener?
I do want to say thank you to Miss Knight. She's been a big part of our family.
Yeah.
She was my brother's teacher back in '94, both of my nieces and my nephew and my daughter. So she's always been a big part of our family. And Merry Christmas.
And she didn't retire?
After Kevin?
Yeah. All right. I have a couple. The first one is Jimmy's not here tonight because he already had plans. Our meeting was supposed to be on Wednesday, but it falls in the tournament, and we usually miss tournament nights to go to the board meetings, but the issues we've been having with some of the sports, we decided that it's better that we're at the sports games. And so we moved the meeting to Monday, and Jimmy said he'd rather go to the tournament than the meeting, so. So
Gotcha.
he already had the plans, and it was a last-minute move. We do appreciate everybody accommodating, but we really feel it's important that we're at the game. So that explains why we're there.
Completely understand.
And then I just want to say the girls' basketball game's been amazing. They went undefeated. Jeff and I have been at every single game, and it's great. The girls really appreciate seeing us there. When the boys come up, though, they don't care we're there. They just care that the girls are in the audience. That's it. And then
Are they playing Wednesday? Is that when it is?
Wednesday we're playing at 3:45 and 6. No, 4:45 and 6 for sure. And we don't know times on Thursday.
In Houston?
Yes, at Ross Middle School. And then I appreciate moving the meeting. I really feel this was important. We've missed plenty of tournament games in the past, and hopefully we don't have to make this a habit of moving games, but I do appreciate us moving the game. Big thanks to the Christmas basket program. It's a huge effect. I was a receiver as a kid, and I can always help put them together, but I can't deliver them. So when Mel calls, we'll be there to help stuff bags and give her a hard time and have a lot of fun because she hates it. And last thing is I thank you for confidence in President for another year.
Oh, yes.
I appreciate it. Moving on to the next board meeting will be January 20th, 2022. So we could all say, see you next year. Closed session will be at 5:30, regular session will be at 6. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
We have a first?
I second it.
You guys are always the same time. I'll give this one to Mike. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.